CoolIt Eco ALC into my liquid cooling solution into my case. So here's the cooling solution itself. Let me just put down the camera so I can get it out. Yeah, you can't see that, but oh well. Okay, so here's the. Alright, let me flip the lens viewer thingy around. Here's the pump that goes on the CPU, kind of like that. Radiator, fan, 120mm fan that comes with it. Yeah, it comes with a couple back plates. These ones, let me move this here. Back plates. And 4 mounting screws. So, next we have to. Right now I have the stock Intel. I'm installing this into a onto a Core i5 in the Asa Solano case. It's so dusty. Anyway, this is the stock cooler, so I have to take this out. And by the way, always unplug the power before you do this in case you didn't already. So unplug the power so that you don't get shocked. Both when it doesn't work and when you kill yourself. So here's the back plate of the CPU right here. So you can see there's 1 peg, 2 peg, and the 3 and 4 are behind here. But basically you have to take those out before you can put in the new CPU. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I kind of don't know how you take them out. I've never done this before, so excuse my lack of knowing about this, my lack of knowledge. Okay, so I got it to come out by kind of putting in certain ones and leaving out other ones. So there's my CPU right here, bottom of the cooler, and make sure that you unplug the fan before you rip it out. So this is the fun part. This is where we get to clean all that thermal gunk off of the CPU. So to do that, you can either use a lint-free cloth and some rubbing alcohol. I just put some rubbing alcohol on a Q-tip and I put it on the other side, and I tested it on the old fan because I know that I'm not going to use that anymore. So if it screws it up, it's fine, but it seems to have worked, and there's all the gunk. And there's the clean base of the old fan. So now we're gonna go into the CPU. Zoom in here. So this is the best part. So we're getting to putting in the cooler. So I located my 11 focus. Anyway, that says 1156. I guess you can't see it because of the light. But yeah, 1156 because I have that's the chip I have. So the idea is that you put it behind your motherboard, kind of like that, so that behind the wires, so that it doesn't give as much stress on the motherboard. But there's this piece right here, so I'm gonna have to take out my motherboard and all of the stuff inside it. So like the graphics card, not the RAM, the wireless card, unplug all these things, take it out, put the backplate on, and then put it all together, and I will be back when I finish that. Okay, so I'm just about to unscrew the motherboard. Before I thought I'd sum up everything that I took apart. So this 8-pin connector here, the fan connector here, 24-pin connector here. I'm gonna unplug these SATA drives. I don't know how important it is to put them back in the same spot, but oh well. All these little connections down there, you can't really see it because of these cords, but they are there. The USB front header, audio, took out my wireless card, took out my graphics card. The only thing I left on the motherboard was the RAM, because you can take out the motherboard without removing the RAM. So now I have to undo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 screws, and then I can remove the motherboard and I will be back. Okay, so here are my 9 screws that came out of the motherboard. So now I can just kind of slide it out. The I/O shield will come out a little bit like that. So you take it, gently slide it out. And you can pull it up. Make sure not to force anything, because then you have a greater chance of breaking your motherboard. This would not be fun. So here's my motherboard, and there's the CPU backplate. So I'm just gonna set the camera back down, and I will be right back. Okay, so here we're gonna be mounting the 1156 backplate. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove these little pads that hold the sticky stuff in place, because it's just going to go on something like that, and then these two parts stick to the motherboard. So let's remove those. There's one and two. So now, I think it goes this way, with the sticky pads on the left and right side. So now you just push it down a little bit, and now you can reassemble your case. And I will be back after I've... So wait, first off, if we turn back here, you'll notice that there's four little pegs. That's where the cooler is going to screw into. So you have to make sure that it's flush, or almost flush, against the back of the motherboard. Otherwise you won't be able to get your cooler in. So I will reassemble my case and I will come back after I've finished. Hey guys, just a couple of points when you're putting in the motherboard. So first off, you'll notice that the hole doesn't really line up with the screw. That's because the sponge on the I/O shield is resisting the motherboard. So what you have to kind of do is get one person to push it into the right spot, and then another person to screw it in. And when you push it, you'll notice that some of them line up, some of them don't. Like that one lines up. So I'm going to do that one next and go from there. And also make sure that none of the wires are underneath the motherboard, because that will end badly. Okay, I will be back. And now for the moment that you've all been waiting for, wherein we get to install this fan onto the back of the computer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the existing fan, because I'm going to move it onto the bottom. And then I'm going to add this second fan in its place. Okay, and now for the moment that you've all been waiting for, wherein we actually get to install the fan into the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it, I'm going to start with the radiator. I'm going to put it on something like that. And then I'm going to use the 4 screws that it came with to install my fan, or my radiator. Okay, so when I attached the radiator, and when I tried to put in the pump part, sorry, it doesn't bend that far, then I realized that the thing didn't fit. So you have to, it's kind of a knot, and you kind of just wiggle it, and you can move it up or down to the one that you need, so that you can change the size of it. So now when I put it in, then it should fit. Okay, that.
Last couple, the Eco is in, the radiator's in. Last couple steps, take the fan from the radiator, plug it into the 4-pin fan connector. Take the 3-pin from the pump, plug it into the 3-pin fan connector. Put in all your cards and connect everything, and you are all done. So I will come back when I'm in Windows. So I'm booted up into Windows 7, running 4 instances of Prime 95, and the maximum temp is, at stock speed, is 46 degrees Celsius. That's pretty good. The stock cooler was 80 degrees Celsius, so that's like cut in half at 100% load. So thank you for watching this episode on installing the CoolIt Eco from CoolIt. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks.